Quality, right, man? To ensure quality for the artist, too.
Man, there's a classic question I ask here. Sometimes people have to think a bit. It's the following: instruments or equipment that surprised you, and sometimes there's that little guitar that you thought was nothing, but it's good. Sometimes there's that guitar that was a dream to have. Sometimes you pick it up and say, man, it wasn't what I expected. Same thing, sometimes with an amplifier or with a multi-effect. Is there anything that comes to mind right now?
Man, as far as I remember once,
Both to disappoint and to the opposite.
when I was, it's been a while, but I remember I was disappointed. Like, I picked up 2 guitars from Fender. Like, I don't know if I can mention the brand. You can? What's going to happen? From Fender? And like, we went with some friends to test them at Theodoro and stuff. And I remember this, man, and it was my friend who was going to buy, right? It was me.
You weren't going to buy.
I wasn't going to buy. But that really stuck with me because, man, it was absurd. The difference, the same series, just changed from cream to red to cherry. Man, probably this one can't be. I've never seen this in my life. It was bad.
Do you remember what the guitar specification was? I don't remember if it was standard or classic. I don't know. I don't remember, man.
It wasn't cheap. No, it wasn't cheap. So you played on 2, man, in the same series. Like, no, I know there's a difference, but man, I remember this like it was yesterday. We looked at each other and said, no, something's wrong.
What found wrong with it? Sound?
The playability, the sound, man, it was completely different. Like, and it didn't come through. It was clogged, you know? That the thing, like, man, weird. I've never seen this.
This is a funny thing because I always ask this question here, and it's very common for people to bring a perception just like you had, right? And people sometimes find it absurd. No, they keep bad-mouthing Fender. Guys, he's not bad-mouthing, but this is the real world, man.
Exactly. No, it happened. And I have a Fender, okay, guys? Which I love. Everything's fine.
I also have one, but I've played bad Fenders too, man.
No, but this one, it wasn't just so-so. Like, I can't even explain. Because it was clogged. I said, man, is it the cable or the amp changing? No, man, I swapped. There was no sound, right? There was no sound, man. It didn't come through, man.
Leandro Esteves said that, right, about a Fender he bought, it had no sound.
There was no sound, man. I don't like being clogged. I'm going to keep repeating muffled, man. It was something where everything went wrong. The pickup, no. Everything is fine.
The other one had the same pickups.
No, it was a cherry. But it was cream and a red cherry. Something like that. I remember that. So much so that you asked me, I saw it right away.
And was its playability good?
It was the same. The playability was the same. The sound was what was bad. I was playing. It was very curious. To this day, I'm curious. For me, there's still something wrong. It's not possible. And the other one, an instrument, also recently, in fact. I think they gave it a boost, changed the construction a bit. A friend of mine lent me a Strindberg bass now. Congratulations. Man, I was impressed. Tuning with the sound of the instrument. And so, super accessible. Man, very good. Playability, awesome.
I was positively surprised. We've been talking a lot here about national brands, which have undergone a very strong change in the last 10 years. Because the national brands have changed. The factories in China have improved. There are national brands that manufacture in Brazil and have really started to produce quality instruments. But we still have that old perception, and sometimes we get surprised. I thought it was bad, and I was surprised by the instrument. And anything else about instruments or effects? Amplifier?
No, I think the rest, there are things I didn't like, I learned to like, but then you realize it's about the technique. You understand? And I think it's much more a matter of my own perception of the instrument, right? Of how to play, how to produce the sound. Life's evolution, right? So that's it. Things I didn't like today, like, wow, I want to do it like that. Give me this here.
Mainly formed by the neck, right? Because sometimes you're used to a flat bass from modern bands.
Even the tone, sometimes even a tone on the amplifier or something, a pedal, a drive that I thought was rough, today I find wonderful. Like, it's missing drive. No, it has to be with little drive. What was missing was the technique. These things. So it's much more about execution, understanding what the equipment gives you as well, than it's surprising or not surprising you. That's why I think these 2 cases I brought up here are really what happened. That, I was amazed. One has no dream, the other, damn, wow, it was awesome.
The pedal you mentioned, for me today, it's I had a metal zone. After some time, I traded it. I didn't really like it at the time, but after a while, I learned. Much later, I played with it and need to go back to it.
Including understanding why it's a pedal that people always see as having been messed up, right?
Metal zone, I don't know what it is, because if you don't know how to configure it properly, and it ends up with a horrible chainsaw sound. But it's such a cool pedal that Bose made a version, the Azacraft of it, where they selected several classic pedals to make this version. And one of them is the metal zone itself, man. And it's a cool pedal.
No, man, that's it. The tool is knowing how to use it, right? Everything in life, right, man? But you learn that over time. When we're young, we want a pedal because we saw someone using it. We think we're going to step on it and it will solve everything, right, man? And it's not, right? It never was.
Never.
You will only understand that with time. We can talk about it. It's like a child, right, man? The father says, man, don't put your finger in the socket. No, don't climb, whatever. Some things you only learn with time. Boy, he used to say he was right.
There are so many musicians we thought were bad and later we admire. There are so many guys we thought were amazing that we didn't have to admire, and they're not around anymore. It happens a lot. We say, man, want to see an example, Roberto, man? He doesn't do any tapping, no sweeping, no skip. Skipping, right? Taping. Damn. My brother, nowadays, I see Paulinho, I think he's an amazing musician. I've been trying to bring him. And then, that's a school, and everyone said, here, people of respect have already sat, like Kiko from Rupa Nova. But someone recently said about him, my brother, when Paulinho enters the studio and plays, you say, my brother, what sound that guy is making? I think it was Leo Brasileiro didn't get to say it. It was someone who said, man, I record in the studio, but man, when... I think it was Cavazzoli Serginho who said, yeah, it's very true. But how does the perception change? Man, all those you mentioned, all of them teacher. But was there ever a guy you didn't like and later on you thought, my brother, how did I not appreciate a guy like that whom you... Was there never one like that?
No disdain, no. I don't think so. But maybe enjoying one or another more. But I think always...
Or was there someone you really liked and then stopped enjoying?
And
the crowd from the party scene.
Yeah, I was about to say that. The whole party scene crowd, a good part of them, like, it's not that I stopped enjoying them. They're no longer a reference. It's been a long time. But like I said, it's a phase. There was a phase of listening, a phase of absorbing all that, which is important. I think it's necessary, especially for the instrument itself, right, man? Because it's even to let loose, you know? Like, in terms of, what can I say? Learning to perform too, man, because there are things that might be required of you. Life, exactly, you know, but it gets tiring. It really does.
There are tools that sometimes we need to have in our toolbox, even if they sit there for 3 or 4 years unused. If someone needs a favor, like needing a tapping sound, you have to know how to take the tool out.
Use it, right? Mindset as is exactly very important. But that's it. But always valuing musicality, right, man?
Yes.
Always with that perspective. So, I think all phases are important. I think everyone should listen, should do what they like. But that's it. Remember that if you want to professionalize, there are some skills that need attention too. And understand that it's very important not to be angry at the world because of it. It's an industry, it's a market. Like all other businesses, they exist. They demand.
And the truth is, I think when we're younger, and we think we have a lot of power to change, but sometimes we don't even make our own bed.
Exactly.
So this issue of self-responsibility and understanding that you will have to look at your own life. You will have a limit to what you can change. This limit is quite restricted. Yes. Your voice will be heard. If it's heard by a niche, you should thank God for that. Exactly, man. So when I think this reality check, the sooner you have it, the better, right?
For sure. That's why it's important to be connected with people who mean something to you, no matter where you are. Walk with those people who identify those people, seek to connect with them because they will help you. They will help you evolve. And there will also come a time when you will be bigger than me. I mean, in the sense that if you keep seeking these insights, seeking improvement, there will come a time when you will surpass. It's a natural process of life. And that's okay. Because you are pursuing that now. If you happen not to be seeking, if it's not of your interest, that's also okay. Just don't complain.
can complain, but it won't help.
It won't do any good.
You will become bitter.
Exactly. And you'll blame the world, but in reality, you have the power of decision, man. You have the power of decision. Each one in their own life. And we can't let people decide that for us. One thing is to play the game, another is to pretend it's not about you, another is to give in willingly. And that's the place. This applies to everything. One day it will be 8, tomorrow it will be 80. Understand, be willing. Got it? Have responsibility, commitment to yourself, to your dreams, to what you agreed with people. Even if you make a mistake, apologize. It's not shameful. Understood? Yes. Make up for it in another way. Be willing to, where am I going to say? How did I say it before here, man? The word slipped my mind. Now look, just thank you. Exceed expectations. Always. Don't be afraid. Over delivery. That's it. Got it? Like, go. Do it. It will be beneficial for you. And for those by your side. And for those who hired you. Oh, come on. Let them say whatever they want. You know your heart. You know your things. Got it? There's a big difference between sucking up and being an excellent professional in delivering the work. Got it?